Hello, I'm Piper. Welcome back to episode 25 of the first journey. We're going to begin with a signing. I did sign Alfie Gilchrist in the end. Supposedly going to be a League One player. Well, he was once upon a time a Championship player, and clearly my assistant manager and my scouts disagree on everyone. But anyway, yeah, he's potentially going to be a good player in the future. We've signed him. What's quite nice is he did have an opportunity to go to who was it? Middlesbrough. But he turned that down to come to us here at York. In an opposite kind of situation, Sam McClelland decided to go to Bristol City rather than come to York. I'll just quickly show you him, which is quite interesting. He had a chance to join Bristol, so again, he could be, apparently, according to my scout, he could be a Championship player in the future. So potentially, if I brought him, he'd probably be like, a National League player. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these two players develop. Now we'll go over what's happened between episodes. We finished with a 2-1 victory last time over Newport County. We gave away a penalty immediately, but Ali Sims justified my signing of him. Came off the bench to score. We followed that up with a 1-0 win over Cambridge in a very, very close game. We scored, as you can see, quite late on, a penalty from Anderson Areyu. What I noticed as we had the penalty was no one in this team, at least this first team here, can take penalties. They were all, the highest one was 10, which did concern me briefly. But we got away with it. He scored, and it was a very close victory. Moving on to this game against Scunthorpe. Now, we had a very hectic beginning to this game. Immediately went 2-0 down, which was, I'm sure anyone who's played Football Manager has at some point been so tempted just alt F4 and just stop playing for the day. I was tempted, obviously. A 3rd and 5th minute goal. I think we had a throw in and we just passed to their player. It was one of those situations. And yeah, dreadful start. Again, similarly, Nathan Baxter, as I mentioned last episode, he has a tendency of when there's a shot on goal that goes in, he gets to it. He gets a hand on it, but it still goes in. And I can't decide whether it's his mistake or whether he's just a really good goalkeeper who's almost saving these, definite goals. So he's played at a 7.1 in that game, and I noticed he played a 7.2 there. I kind of feel harsh for taking him off, but I really can't tell whether it's him making the problems or him messing up or not. It's a tough situation. I'm thinking of playing Bro in the Wigan game, but we'll see. Other things worth noting, Logan Pye. He started really well, and then he did really poorly in that game. In the Cambridge game, he was kind of quiet all game. He's got a 7.1, but for most of the game, he was a 6.3, 6.4. I'm guessing he got the penalty at the end or something, but I'm not sure. I'm thinking, do I give him a break and try putting Kinsella back in the team? I'm not sure, but we'll go over the team because that seems like the next logical place to go. I have put Govia in, which I'm not sure about. I might take him out, but I've got him penciled in at the moment. He didn't do very well in that under-18s game that I put him in, though, so I don't know. Maybe it should be Kinsella that plays. Yeah, I'll start Kinsella. So at the moment, I'm now doubting myself though, looking at the ratings. I might put Baxter back in goal because he has played. No, I'm going to give Bro a chance. So quickly going over the team then. In goal, I'm going to go with Bro. On the left, I'll go with Kinsella. Centre backs, what has kind of become a pattern for the entire team, if I'm honest. Quinn Sarr has been as great as I expected him to be. However, between Ogungbo and Shea Charles, they've kind of been a bit, neither one's blown me away. They've both made mistakes, so I'm struggling. No one's really nailing down that left centre-back spot. On the right, I'm going to go with Hughes. Areyu, he scored the penalty, but he's kind of been a bit quiet. So I'm going to give Hughes a chance to impress me on the right. Centre midfield it's been underwhelming, if I'm honest. No one's nailed down a spot. I feel like we really miss Callum Jones, who's not quite back to fitness yet. So I've noticed that no one in midfield is quite combative. No one's willing to go in for the tackle. They don't close down quick enough. And we really miss Callum Jones. He gets a lot of yellow cards, Callum Jones, but he is someone who's willing to make the tackle. I don't get that from McGee and Taylor quite often, or whoever's played. Ross Matthews. None of them have blurred me away. So it's been quite tough. I'm going to give McGee and Taylor a chance. I love McGee. He can take free kicks as well, kind of. He was a god in the lower leagues at least. So he's done well for me in the past. So I'm going to give him a chance back at deep line playmaker to, stake a claim to starting in the team. I'm going to give Taylor another go. He hasn't blown me away, but he did have that assist in the first game, so it's his turn to try and impress me while we wait for Callum Jones to come back. The wings. These have been the one shining light of the season so far. Smith and Canate, they've scored important goals. Obviously, the 2-2 draw against Scunthorpe, both of those scored. I think Liam Smith scored 2 goals now in the league. So these two are the one area of my team where I'm like, okay, they're working as intended. Now, up front, this is another problem area for the team, I feel. Young has done really well. He's gotten 2 assists. He's playing quite well, so I'm happy with him. Unfortunately, between Sims, Gomez, and Ross, no one's really nailed down the other spot. Obviously, Sims scored a goal in the first game, but since then he's not really done much. Gomez, he isn't doing anything, and while Will Ross is getting chances, he's getting in the right positions, he's just missing them all, which is kind of, well, it's kind of a problem. It just is a problem. Obviously, I'm going to need someone to step up. What this does mean, though, is I'm wondering, is it time to bring back Jack Redshaw? This is a guy who scored how many goals? 58 goals for me in 2 seasons. As we can see if we go through his history, he's got to League 2, he's got into the league a couple of times, but he had a good season there, 16 goals and 11 goals for Morecambe, but he's never really like done the business in the league, and I kind of feel like this is his kind of like a movie, you know. He's kind of like an old professional, you know. He's wasted opportunities in the past, but now at 31 he's gotten back in the league and he has a chance to prove himself. Jack Redshaw's on the bench. If Sims isn't playing very well at half time, I'm probably going to bring Redshaw on and see if, you know, he can re-earn himself a place in the team. I'm tempted to do I give Logan Pye another chance? He had one bad game when I dropped him. Yeah, I can't that's how I can't do that. It's a bit mean. So I'm gonna undo all that I've just said, and I'm gonna give Logan Pye another chance. Another thing that I'd quickly like to touch on is I am starting a new tactic of wing play, because I've recognised that my best players are on the wings. So I'm going to go from, my plan is to start slowly working from being Route 1 team, as we are currently, to a wing play team. But yeah, on to Wigan. What I actually did want to touch on as we start the game that I didn't is ultimately Wigan. You know, they've had 2 relegations in 2 seasons now. They've come 23rd twice. So I would expect them to come into League 2, you know, and dominate. But they've had a really bad start to the season. They've lost 2 and drew 1. So if we were playing well, I'd be really confident of a victory here, because Scunthorpe also had a really bad start to the league. And there we go, Dion McGee proving me right and selecting him. Thanks, Dion. What a goal. If the strikers won't score, then my midfielders will. So, yeah, what a goal. Hughes, Canate, Sims. So Sims got the assist. Looks like Sims is... Maybe Young will come off for Redshaw in the second half. But yeah, Wigan, as you can see here, quite handily. Bottom of the league now, well, currently. So they've not got a good start. Scunthorpe also hadn't played well, so I was really confident going into the Scunthorpe game. And then obviously they scored 2 goals in 5 minutes, so I was quite concerned. All the space Taylor's in there. Oof. Nice. Tried to curl it and didn't go for power instead. But yeah, ultimately, I thought Wigan were going to do a lot better than they have. But seeing as we, in previous games we'd struggled to score. Now, I thought his name was Asgard then. What a name. But yeah, I've noticed as well, this obviously isn't Baxter, but distribution hasn't been great for my goalkeepers. We've been giving it away a couple of times, so maybe that's something I need to work on in training. Passing it around a bit in midfielder quite nicely. That was a disappointing shot from Sims there. What can Pye do here? We're playing, considering that we are a Route 1 team, we're passing it around at the back a lot. Maybe I need to change it. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. I've noticed in FM21 and FM20, there's something about strikers missing one-on-ones all the time. But other players on the pitch, so like in my wingers, they always seem to score them. I don't know whether it's just like, just me, that thing where you remember the bad times, you know, more than the good times. Or whether it's a legitimate thing where it's just because, you know, strikers getting those chances more, that you see them miss more than I guess wingers do. But either way, that was... Ironically, I was saying, you know, we're passing the ball on nicely at the back, and then the goal we score is just a long punt up the pitch. Tall striker gets his head on it. knocks it down for the speedy winger to score. That was quite ironic considering what we were talking about. Anyway, I'm quite happy. Well, obviously I'm happy. I'm 2-0 up, but we've played really well as well. Like in our other victories this season, we haven't played that great. We sort of stole a victory at the end. I say we're playing really great as we just give the ball away in midfield. I need to stop talking if I'm honest, don't I? Oh, no, here we go. Oh, what a save by Bro. Oof. What a save. They should have scored that. The XG is actually really close, isn't it? They've probably, actually, stats-wise, been the better team, looking at it. They're picking up a few yellow cards, though. Maybe they're just being unlucky at Wigan. Maybe they're actually playing really well, but they're just being a bit unfortunate. So, yeah, I did say I was going to bring off Sims if he was playing. I don't know whether I said it, but the plan was at 6.7 or below. He's ironically playing at 6.7. I love it. Smith not having a great game. That's surprising. You know what? I might give him a break. What I have noticed with Smith, great player, but he seems to take an extra day or two to recover from games more than any other player in the team. So I don't know if it's his stamina. I'll have a look in a sec. Actually, has he got low stamina or maybe natural fitness? Yeah, stamina of 8. You can really tell because everyone else has recovered. Their hearts are filled back up to green, and his is still like mid-level. Anyway, second half, 2-0. Do you think anyone else? Hughes wasn't playing too great, but I say that he jumped from a 6.6 to a 6.8, so he did really well in that second. I might still take Sims off maybe at some point. You know, yeah, I feel like I've built up Redshaw now, and I feel like I feel harsh for not bringing him on. So yeah, we'll play Redshaw. Redshaw and Young, we're going back to the classic York here. Should I bring anyone else on? I'm thinking Matthews maybe. How's the midfield doing? I think I'm going to bring on Matthews for Taylor just to kind of, shore up the midfield. Try and, as you do, you're 2-0 up, you try and, close the game down full Jose Mourinho style. They're going to score now, aren't they? I'm just here like, show up the game, guys, see out the 2-0. We're going to immediately concede. Looks like Logan Pye's been overloaded on the left there. And no, that was so close. Archibald. Kindly getting the ball from my goalkeeper as well. What a nice young man. Looks like quite a few of my team are getting a bit tired now. What an anticlimactic second half. That first half was really exciting. Two nice goals, and I think we've had 2 highlights in the second half. Both of them being a free kick from the same position. Redshaw. Is Redshaw going to get an assist for Young? Oh, he is. The connection, the Young-Redshaw connection. It never dies. It's never going to go away. I'm going to get in the Premier League, aren't I, with Young and Redshaw, just, a 36-year-old Redshaw feeding prime Jake Young. What's that goalkeeper doing there? It's like he's tried to use, the force to knock the ball away. It's not how the force works, mate. So, yeah, quite a good 3-0 victory. Not sure, do we deserve it in the end? Yeah, I think in the end, the first half I think was quite even. They were possibly even the better team stat-wise, but it looks like in the second half we've come back into it a bit more. More shots at least. XG is higher. Possession still slightly in their favour, but barely. Impressed that we almost had as many fouls as them, but no yellow cards. We are the kings of pushing it to the limit. Man of the match, though, Marcin Broski, with a 7.8. I think this guy, he thrives under pressure. This guy does. Because in his first season here, he had to fight for his place from Brad Watkins, and he stepped up and took it. Now he's fighting for his place again, and he's, casually putting in 7.8s. He was unlucky in the first game as well, because the only goal he conceded was a penalty, which wasn't obviously not his fault. He didn't give the penalty away. It was Ogungbo who gave the penalty away. So yeah. See, apparently, and we were the underdogs, but I don't think that was. I don't feel like we were, because they're playing really poorly. So I'm going to say, apparently, if people have written us off, then wasn't really smart of them. Not many fans reacted. I presumed a game against Wigan would be quite big for the fans. I'll go look at Wigan because I want to try and work out what's happened why have they fallen from the Championship to League Two? And they're not playing well in League Two. Let's have a look. Will Keane is their best player. He doesn't look too bad, to be fair. He looks a lot of yellows in every category. Acceleration isn't great in pace, but finishing's decent for this level. He's tall, he's got heading. He's like a older Jake Young. He's come a long way from Man United. A very long way. Lloyd Ndesemu is their exciting prospect. He looks pretty good. We'll scout him too. If you get relegated to National League, we'll take him. So yeah, let's have a look what's happened. So obviously when the game started, 2021. So they've got relegated. 2 relegations in a row. So what's happened? Like, let's have a look, try to work out managers. They keep faith in the managers. Like even when they're getting relegated, they're sticking to them. There is former Crew manager, right? Yeah. How Crew doing? Chat. I'm a bit confused. What? Oh, they sacked David Artell. Fair dues. I thought he'd left Crew, who's got into the Championship to go to Wigan. Yeah. Anyway, so what's happened to Wigan? The only thing I could presume is if they had money issues and they've had to sell everyone. They've only brought in Theo Archibald. Have you sold a lot of players? No. I mean, they've signed some good players as well here. On loan. Ballymumba, decent player. Billy Gilmore, they loaned in Billy Gilmore and got relegated. That's impressive, if I'm honest. Not sold anyone huge. Any good signings here? No one that really stands out. I recognise Nydam. I don't know where from. I'm going to presume I've played with him in the past. But recognise him. And he's a good player. So they've not sold anyone. This is what happens when you sell, Will Grigg. Right? For way more than he's worth to Sunderland. But yeah, I'm a bit confused. I'm going to presume it's because they've got no money. Maybe the squad wasn't good enough in the Championship. They didn't really have the money to buy in players who could do well at League One. Confidence was low. They've got relegated again. And now they're struggling. They're the new Bolton. I mean, the National League's going to be crazy if Wigan get relegated and it's got Bolton and Wigan in there. How are Bolton doing? Lost 2 games already. Damn. Well, anyway, I'm rambling a bit. Let's have a look. I'll take a quick look at the league. We're in 2nd place now. Taylor Frost, most goals, average rating. We'll have a scout of him. See who he is. See if he's as good as he is doing. It's a weird sentence. Jake Young on the assists. Clean sheets. I'm kind of sandbagging myself by playing 2 different goalkeepers. Season preview. Oh, we've gone up from 4th to 3rd in the season preview. Any of our players on the Dream 11 now? Other than Smith? No, just Smith. King is still the best goalkeeper. And let's have a look at the schedule. When are we coming back? When there's a... See, if that wasn't the Papa John's Trophy, we beat Doncaster in the pre-season. We'll probably come back for... What's a big game? There's a part of me that wants to come back for Hartlepool. But I feel like we've played Hartlepool so many times last season. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how the form is, and then I'll pick a game. Whoever's the next team at the top. Is it Cheltenham who are winning? Yeah, okay. Might be Cheltenham. If Cheltenham are still top of the league, we'll come back for a Cheltenham game. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.